Hello, everyone. This is PCEA Embakasi Parish, and we are bringing to you the program Then and Now. Now, when we talk about then and now, we're talking about looking at the value of the past and looking at the value of the present and exploring the bridges in between the times. Now, one of the very important organizations, not just in the Presbyterian Church, but also women's movement in Kenya, is the Women's Guild. A lot has happened, and especially we know the beginning of this organization was they began by fighting against the circumcision of women, which was a very big cultural conflict at the time, but they succeeded. And over time, they have remained relevant. They've remained relevant in many ways. And so we are glad to have with us the ladies, the leaders from the Women's Guild in Embakasi Parish, bringing us just a great wisdom as we talk about then and now, and also explore how the Women's Guild movement is doing the ministry in the modern times. And you just feel free to comment right there on our social media page about your opinion, your ideas, and you want us to get in touch with you, also to do write your contact there, and also subscribe to our page as well, so that you can get regular updates from here, and that is on this program Then and Now, and also for our other programs. Again, welcome to Then and Now. Ladies, welcome.
Thank you.
This is the Women's Guild Week, right?
Yes.
And maybe you can begin by telling us, even before we get to our conversation, why do we have a whole week over the Women's Guild? And you can begin by first telling us your name and then the why of the Women's Guild Week. We start from the end there.
Thank you. My name is Margaret Mwekali Karaoke, and I'm from Embakasi Congregation, Embakasi Parish. I'm the vice chair lady of the Women's Guild in our congregation. I joined the Women's Guild in 2015, commissioned in 2018. Why do we have a whole week for the Guild? One of our aim as the Women's Guild is service to the society. And a whole week has time to engage with the society, with the church, and it gives us time to give back to the community. Thank you.
All right. Then let's get to Joyce.
Thank you very much. My name's Joyce Jerry Maina. I'm from Utawala Congregation, Embakasi Parish, and I'm a wife of one, a mother of three, and in our congregation, I'm secretary of Women's Guild, and so far so good. The question is, why this week is a Guild week? And as we know, woman is very important in our society, in our family, and what we are doing is we are trying to nurture everyone in the society in godly way. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Finally, just as an introduction.
Thank you. My name is Purity Kaimori Mwaura. I'm from PCEA Syokimau Congregation, Embakasi Parish. I am the secretary of the parish and the chairperson, PCEA Syokimau Women's Guild. I am a mother of two girls, married to an husband. The question is, okay, before I go to the question, I joined Women's Guild in 2011, was commissioned on 2014. Up to now, I've seen the grace of God. The question, why a whole week of Women's Guild? As a Women's Guild member, I see it's a time that we are given to see how the society feels, to see a woman in blue, how the congregation or the church or the youths see us as their model, how they see us, their mentors. And at that week, that's when we get time to interact with them, to interact with the society, and to talk to them about the Word of God. Thank you.
All right. Good introductions there. And therefore, welcome, Margaret, to this conversation. Welcome, Joyce. Welcome, Purity. And clearly, the nice colors, the characteristic colors. You know, even when you're walking in the streets, you see this, you know that is a serious woman of faith. You know, because this is not just an outfit, but it's also a testimony. It's a witness, to women serving God and women who are seriously serving God. And maybe we just want to know, and we can start, with you, Joyce. Why did you join the Women's Guild? Why?
Okay, why I joined Women's Guild is, if I can remember when I was young, I could see women going, learning to church, very active. Others who were very old, but the way they were learning toward the work of God, I really admired the service they were doing. And when I became a mother, that's when I come to my senses that it's good to serve Christ in a woman's guild when I am a young mother. So that's why I decided.
All right. So it all began with you seeing women when you were younger and admiring them, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so they pushed you, and you're like, at one point in my life, I would want to be like those women.
Very
Right.
true, yes.
Okay. Good. Margaret, why did you join the Women's Guild?
For me, I would say the Women's Guild in every church, and just like our church, shows unity. And I really admired the unity in our church for the women. So I admired and I longed to belong to the unity that our church women had. And I longed to be part of them.
All right.
That was my desire, to be part of the women in my church. Thank
So,
you.
I mean, you like the community of women, and you long to be part of that
Unity.
unity and
True.
that community, that body of
Yes.
women who are serving God in the church.
Yes.
Great. And Purity, why did you join the Guild?
Thank you very much. Okay, when I joined Women's Guild, that desire that made me to follow the women, I saw the love they had for one another, especially the community that was around. When I was following, I saw women who could sit down and remember there are some orphans somewhere, and we need to visit them and talk to them, give them a word of God. There is a community somewhere that has no food, and we need to go visit them and give them the word of God and then the food to eat that day. And that juncture, people were changing and coming to church. And some of them were giving their lives to Christ. So I saw this group as an impact to the society and to them that are in the church at that time. So I felt they are so committed in bringing so many people to Christ through their actions. So I was like, now I am also part of these women. As young as I am, I need to be with them. And I learned a lot, especially to the family matters. You can sit with them, those who are older, and give you advice to the family line. That is why I decided I need to join them and learn more.
Okay. And you're still smiling as you remember the reason why
Yeah.
you joined the Guild. Now, you've mentioned something about joining the Guild when you were young. Now, it's just a perception that once you join the Guild, you immediately become old. Well, because the reputation is, or the perception is that this is, you join like a team of old, ladies. And so even though you look young, in your mind you have to, be old. And I mean, I can see you're shaking your head saying, no. I mean, Margaret, yeah. Mm-hmm.
The guild is not made for the old women. As time has passed, we've evolved. At the moment, we have the Girls Guild movement, and it is recruiting girls. It doesn't mean when you join the guild, you instantly become old. You cannot become old. There is the younger you, and that is what we are serving our God with. So when you join the guild, as much as there are old women in the guild, we are still young and serving in the guild. It doesn't matter your age. It is for every woman, girls and women. It doesn't matter your age. Thank you.
All right. I can see you're shaking your head saying, no. Joyce, do you want to add to that?
Yes, thank you. If I can add what my colleague has said, to start with, Guild started with the girls. So when those girls started this group of girls guild, they grow old when they were in the guild. So that's why maybe many people have that mentality that the guild or the women's guild is for those old mamas. But if you can have that mentality that as much as the way you are or as much as the young you are, you can serve Christ even if you are a girl or at your own age. Thank you.
All right, I like that you've just reminded us that the guild began as a girls' movement. And so the people we see as old actually were girls at the beginning, and they grew old in the guild. Fantastic. And I think coming to Purity also, you mentioned that you joined the guild when you were younger, right? Did people think that maybe you're making a wrong move? Or did you get, what did your fellow young girls think of you as you joined the guild?
Thank you very much. Okay, I joined at the age of 22. And in that group, I was the youngest. And when I joined, I was also the chairperson of the youth. But to my surprise, most of them were thinking that, hey, this is not going to work out. But I told them, one thing I believe in is the service of Christ. It's not about the age. It's not about the big mamas you see. It's about the service of God. If you believe in serving God, even at a younger age as a member, you can make it. Again, it's not about how you feel. Sometimes we think about if I join, let's say, a women's guild group in the church, I'm restricted to so many things. That is the thing that bring most of the girls to tend that they cannot join because utakatizwa maisha. Your life will be like, I'm in church full time. I cannot serve in any other area. But to me, it was service to Christ, commitment to what is meant to be. And I learned a lot to this age. Yes.
It's interesting that some of your colleagues at that time thought that it wouldn't work out. And I would want to just stay on that line of it working out, but we'll come back to that. I mean, you have been now in the guild for some time, Margaret. What would you say has been one of or some of the great benefits you've gained as a person from joining the guild?
I would say one of my greatest benefits, the guild has mentored me to the Margaret, to the Mama Dan, Mama Daisy, Mama Gift that I am today. The guild uplifts me spiritually. When you become a guild member, you have to be a family woman. It has really taught me how to stay with my family and be a strong wife, a strong mother, and it has built me to what I am today. I would say that.
All right. I mean, so who you are today, you give credit to the guild. All
True.
right. Were it not for the guild, it would have been another story.
Before joining the guild, I think Margaret was so naive. Margaret was just another girl. But the guild has really brought the Margaret in me. And I really thank the guild and God for that.
All right. And Joy, some specific benefits you've gained from joining the guild?
Okay, thank you. One thing that I can say is when we have this headscarf, it's a way of showing that whom you are even in society. For example, there was a time I was in a traffic jam and I was in a headscarf. And there was a policeman who was there, and the time he looked at me, he told me, yeah, wewe mama uko na kitambaa wa kanisa, tafadhali wewe hatutaki kukuweka, you just go. So what I come to realize that when you have this headscarf, it gives you a lot of respect, even outside the church, in your community, in your family, it gives you a lot of respect.
All right. So even the community itself honors the fact that you're a woman of faith, specifically because of your guild association.
Yes,
Okay, it's interesting. I mean, that's personal. You have a personal benefit. You have a public benefit, right?
Yeah.
Purity?
Since I joined Guild, as a young girl, let me say, I could not even understand myself at the back of that age. But when I joined Guild, I was taught marriage works. Marriage is not something that you can go to expose to anyone. You need someone that you can speak to about your marriage. And most of all, the center of your marriage should be God. As much as you want to tell people that marriage is like this or like that, because sometimes marriage can be difficult, but when God is at the center, everything works out. So when I joined Guild, the mothers who are there could teach us that marriage works. And sometimes people don't go talking about their marriage anywhere. You just sit down with someone and talk about your marriage. You can be assistant. Then there is this respect that you get from anywhere you go when you're having headscarf, as she has said. There is one time tulikuwa tunatoka meeting and it was raining heavily. And the place we alighted, Amatatu, we were two. We met a man from Limuru, and he was an elder. We never knew he was an elder. So, alikuwa na umbrella na alikuwa kwa gari, personal car. Vile tulishuka, he said, God, these are servants of God. They need a cover. And she called us, servants, can I give you an umbrella? And we said, yes. He told us, no, I will not give you an umbrella. It is one, and you are two. I want to give you a lift to a place that mutanjificha mfua. And that was what he did. That respect gives you courage to move on, courage to serve God. Because sometimes you see that God is working on your life when you don't even know. Thank you.
You know, it's interesting that you mentioned that some people who recognized you in public recognize you because of your headscarves, right? Now, the headscarf is taken sometimes. I'm going back to generations, right? The modern woman does not understand the headscarf as something to wear, because we are more like, we have women now who have their hair open more, you know, and they don't associate with covering their head. If they are covering their head, it's a fashionist kind of covering their head. They have an interesting kofia, or they have I don't know what those head gears are concerned, but I mean, the headscarf, is it permanent, or is there like a conversation to also accommodate other ways of identifying yourself or uniforming yourself? Is it permanent? Are we stuck with the headscarf, or are we considering other ways of just uniforming for the sake of maybe the modern lady? Margaret.
At the moment, I would say the headscarf is permanent. The guild is guided. We have a guidebook, and even the headscarf is in our guidebook. So, okay, with time and with discussions, with permission, I think the guild will come maybe to evolve, but with time. When maybe the GA decides to sit down with the women, we can now evolve to other lifestyle, to other new things, but at the moment, the headscarf is permanent. That's my take.
Okay. We'll stay with that a little bit. I want you, Joyce, to look forward into the future, right? And I want you to look at your daughter, right? Who wants to join the guild and tells you, Mom, I really want to join the guild, but I don't associate myself with the headscarf. I understand the women's guild, I understand all that, but I mean, aren't there other ways of uniforming myself? Because it seems like the outfit is okay, it's flexible, the dress, I can wear different kinds of dresses as long as they are blue. Are there other ways of like adorning my head or something like that apart from the headscarf? And I want you to imagine. I don't want you now to think about the rule book. I want you now to imagine. What are other possible ways of uniforming yourself apart from the headscarf?
Okay, thank you very much, Reverend. What I can say, for example, maybe especially when we have a wedding in our churches, I feel there are many conversations with our ladies that they don't want to put their headscarf in their heads, because maybe you see others, they have a very beautiful hair, very smart. They have put a lot of money to make their hairs, so they don't want to cover their head. So what they say is there a way? And for example, I can remember most of the people say that they want to put their scarf in their shoulder. So I think it's good as we go on, we look for other ways, because even to some our youth girls, they say, is it a must that I cover my head with this blue kitaba? So maybe I can say it's good also. We look for maybe another option for that.
Okay.
Thank you.
I mean, so there's already a form of progressiveness, because if a bride,
Yes.
it's a very high day for the bride,
Yes.
but they don't put the headscarf on
Yes.
their head, they put it on there, and they look nice,
They
right?
look nice.
They just actually look nice. So it means there's already a kind of progression. The thing is that, and I'm coming to purity, is that can one, apart from a wedding day, can one put their scarf in a different place apart from their wedding day? If you can do it on your wedding day, why can't you do it on another day? Again, you're free to speak. I know there's a rule book and all that. We're just talking. Or maybe, I mean, yeah, because a wedding day is a big day, And there are all these women who are, there's this salute that they make. You're passing, just down the aisle, and they are surrounding you, and you have your scarf over your over your shoulder. On another day, can one put the scarf in another place?
Thank you. To me, that's my opinion. To me, it seems more of a service than the beauty. Okay, there is more in service of this end scarf more than beauty. Like now, I can tell you my hair is smart, but I feel more comfortable when covered that way rather than when I have it here. People respect it when it is in the hand rather than when it is here. You know, sometimes you may feel like, I want to put it here, but there is a difference between this scarf and a bandana. There is a bandana we put on here, look like a scarf. But if you feel like unaweza iweka hapa, it is more of isomeki vile inafaa. It's not reflecting who you are when it is here more than when it is in your head. Again, there is this conversation. I once attended a conference of Women's Guild in Mombasa, and the same question was raised that Girl Guild is requesting if we can have a scarf at the shoulder rather than covering the hand. But to me, I think to the girls, for them to join, they can have something else. Apart from the big hand scarf, we are blue, they can have something else to identify them as girls. But for the hand scarf, there is no need of changing it from covering the hand to a shoulder.
Okay.
Can I add to that?
Oh, of course you can, yes.
I would really want the girls to understand that the headscarf is a process. You just don't join the guild and you're given the headscarf. It's a process, and it's a process that you are taken through. And before you're through with your process, you're always requesting for the headscarf. So it's not a do or die thing. It's a process that you're taken through.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, yes.
Again, on the same, the service in that end scarf. You know, before ufunge hiyo kitambaa, there's some work that you have done. There is a way that you feel, I'm very tired doing this. From the start of it, the way you cover it, the way you tie it, you feel that this service needs me more than just taking it and having it as a modernity. And it's like something that I can be identified with. Because most of the people think that the end scarf is for identification. It is not for identification. It is for service.
Okay. Yes. All right. I mean, it's quite interesting. And it's come to you, Joyce, because there are some young women who would want to join the Women's Guild, and they feel like the headscarf is a big barrier for them. They can't identify with it. Now, because the Constitution is still on for now, right? And we've not gotten to these other options. Now, how would you help a young woman who is trying to make the decision to join the guild, and the uniform is a bit, especially the headscarf? I don't hear them having challenges with the dress. If the headscarf is a barrier, I want you to convince that lady that she's welcome and that the headscarf is still okay.
Okay, thank you. One thing that I can tell this young girl who is looking this headscarf as a barrier, there is something that we were told sometimes back, that when we are with this headscarf is very important. It's very anointed, because before you take this headscarf, it must be from Mchungaji or from somebody who have prayed for it. So this headscarf, it's not only a headscarf we are seeing. It's an anointing that you are taking. And also, there are some guidance that is in this headscarf. It's a headscarf that you must wear it when it is supposed to be. Not anywhere, not to anybody, but when it is needful.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Any one of you would want to add Purity, Margaret, to that, convincing the young woman who wants to join the guild but finds the headscarf a barrier for now?
I think girls should not find the headscarf as a barrier. They should just join the guild. The guild is made of so many things. And as I've said before, the headscarf is a process. And before you're taken through the process to getting the headscarf, I think as a girl, you will have gained a lot. You will have gained the direction of your spirituality. You'll be mentored maybe to a better woman. I think the girls should see the guild not through the headscarf, but as a group uniting women. There is more to the headscarf.
All right. So they should not start with the headscarf. They should start with another beginning. And when you begin from that end, then the headscarf does not become a question, right? That's interesting, the process. Purity, anything you'd want to add?
To that girl who feels she wants to join Women's Guild, it is not difficult. And an headscarf should not be a barrier for you to join. It is good. To me, I see headscarf as something that has transformed my life. I once could not stand in a pulpit to preach. But sometimes back, when I was given the headscarf on 2014, the first time I stood to a congregation to preach, I was having an headscarf. So the lady who gave me a chance to preach told me, do you know Women's Guild members and ladies are so courageous? So you need to have courage when you have that anointed scarf. And she asked me, have you ever seen a mchungaji with a gown who is fearing to stand before people? And I don't know. Now, take yourself as a mchungaji now when you have that headscarf and preach to many. And you can be able also to mentor many who are behind you. You'll be an example to many. You'll be able to bring more to Christ. And you tell them the process you passed through so that you can get that headscarf has given you courage to move on in life and future. Thank you.
Okay, I can tell that you are good salespeople for the Women's Guild. Let's stay with the young women. Let's stay with them because the way the Women's Guild is the way it functions, that the women do take care of themselves, at the same time they do take care of the community. Now, let's stay with the young girls now. The young women today are facing a lot of issues, lots of issues. And one of the issues is, let's say, around families. A lot of young women are struggling when it comes to not even sustaining the families. First, before you sustain, just to begin the family, like what wisdom you need and what preparation you need. And I want you to speak, any one of you can jump in on this one. What is the guild doing to prepare women towards beginning their homes today? Any one of you can jump in.
The guild is doing a lot to prepare girls. As much as the guild supports family. And when you join the guild, in the guild we have generations. The guild is made up of different generations, and the old mothers are always ready to mentor the young girls on how to get and how to start off their families. Nowadays, the family unit is a challenge. But when you join the guild, at least the women instill in you on how to become a strong woman. And with that, at least you can run a family believing and knowing that marriage works and families works. The guild, the women's guild, women are mentors and they are role models. And in the guild, you get role models who get to work with you. And at least with a strong role model, you start building from scratch, knowing that you have support from the women.
Okay. Yeah, Joyce.
Yes, thank you. As we have said that in the society, there is a lot of problems, families, they are outside, they are breaking because of various problems. And now as Women's Guild, especially at this week, whereby we have some activities, we are trying to hold those families that they feel that they can't be able to go far with their families. Some are struggling with their children. Others, they don't have even something to feed their families. So as a women's guilds, what we are doing what we call act of mercy, to look for food and go there outside the society, share with those one who are less fortunate, those who are needy. We care, we cater for them. We also go to the hospitals, go encouraging those who are feeling that they are at their end, and we give them word of encouragement, that, and to tell them that there is hope for tomorrow. Thank you.
So you stand in solidarity with other women who are struggling in one way or other with their families economically, yes. Right? A purity, just about homes and young women and preparing them.
Thank you. To me, I can say, since I joined Women's Guild, before I had seen many people who had been married and divorced. But when I joined Women's Guild, there are these mentors who have been in family life, who have been in marriage. And when they sit with you, they tell you, marriage works. Marriage is the best. And when you look at their life, it transforms you and tells you that if this marriage worked, why not mine? And again, I call them counselors, because sometimes when you are emotionally or physically down, some of them comes in and helps you to stand again. When you feel that the family is becoming heavy, because at this time the family is at a risk. Mostly the marriages are shaking. But to that Women's Guild member, there is this thing that guides you to hold your family together, a prayer warrior. That person who can bring a family together, even though the devil is working much under to make this family break, there is this person, a Women's Guild mother who is in that house. She makes sure that this family will not break. Why? You hold it in prayers. You hold it in the word of God. You persist. No, like now, many people are saying the marriages are so abusive. Also depends why it's like that. Because you might see you are abused, but at that abusive time, you are also contributing to this thing. Why? There are some members or ladies in the society who joined the family unit before they could know what they are doing. And for that reason, if you are not maybe cemented in God's faith, you will not be able to hold your family. At the same time, there are some parents who will come in and maybe wewe uko kwa this fellowship, it is helping you, but the mother who is your mother or your mother-in-law is not in this fellowship, does not understand what you're going through. When you're trying to make this family unit united, someone else is breaking it. The thing is, if you are cemented in this fellowship and you hold as a counselor, a nurse, a prayer warrior in this family, you will talk to your mother-in-law or your mother and she will understand. Thank you.
Yeah, you raised some important issue there, purity, because again, one of the big issues in the society today is violence in marriages. You just cited it. And the Guild being an organization that supports women and supports families, I mean, what would you say, or how would you support women who are facing violence in their homes? Margaret.
As women, we encourage women not to keep quiet. Women should not keep quiet. Violence is not nice. Violence is not normal. And marriage is not violence. We don't encourage women in their marriages just because you're a woman guild to entertain violence in your marriage. We encourage girls and women to speak out. When you join the guild, at least it becomes a family, and that encourages you to talk. We don't encourage women to be battered in their houses and keep quiet. It is good always to talk. We encourage women to speak out. It is good to speak out when at the start of the mess, not when the mess is already done and it is out of control.
Okay.
So that we can find ways we support. Women support each other. Women are each other's shoulders. We lean on each other's shoulders, at least to see the success of all of us.
All right. In that way, the Guild then becomes a space where women who are crying because of particular things in their marriages can find direction and counsel and support.
True.
Now, let's come with you, just stay with you, Joyce, because one of the things that is very prominent today in our culture, there are many single parents, there are many, more and more people have being divorced, being divorcees. I want to ask you a specific question. Are single parents and women who are divorced welcome in the Women's Guild?
Yes, they are. And for example, there are many women who are single parents, and others, they call themselves single by choice, others by circumstance. And when we call a seminar or maybe we are gathering in a meeting, we all equalize all those women or ladies as one. We don't separate them, but what we do, we mostly look for the seminars to tell that woman who feel like it's maybe by maybe he's not supposed to be the way he is or she is. We show them that there is love even in this group. So no matter the situation, we welcome them.
Well, I mean, if I was to listen to you speaking that, then the headscarf wouldn't be a barrier. If I'm welcome, coming from that kind of, if I'm welcome in that way, then the headscarf is really not a barrier.
Sure.
Because it means that in my pain, in my status, in my deficiency sometimes, I'm welcome and I'll find support and life in this community. I think that's really welcoming, is very open. And that's the open side, or the what can we say, it's like the freer or liberal side of the Guild that some people don't really know, but you brought it out very well.
Yes.
Now, let's jump again to, let's stay with the community and the times we are living in now, a purity. Because as we have mentioned is that guilt also is involved a lot in the ministry, in the community. And now we're in a time when cost of living is such a big thing right now. Many homes are finding that they're not having enough, to sustain themselves. I want you to just tell us, Purity, what you are doing to support families at a time when the cost of living today is very expensive.
Thank you. Okay, the time we are living now, it's hard. And mostly, there are so many people who are not working. There are so many people whose jobs or businesses have collapsed. And at the same time, there are some also who are idle. So on this issue, when the cost of living is high, and Women's Guild is given a one that these are the rich people. Let me say and clarify first, Women's Guild is not for rich people, it's for everyone who is a born-again Christian. That one I will say. To the cost of living, those who are facing hardships, Women's Guild, especially the week that we are in, and many other times, we always look for a way to help the families that are suffering, especially with the food or any needful thing. Sometimes back someone asked me, why is Women's Guild not helping in educating the children in the less fortunate families? And my answer was, if someone comes and approaches you as an office or as a group, I have an issue, like I cannot raise school fees for my child, or we are sleeping angry. Sometimes you may think the members know people who are not quite well, but they don't know. They need to be told also. You need to communicate to them. So I told her, if you can come and speak to us as a group, there is a way we can help, either with food or the school fees. But the problem with the society is they feel that, like now we are a group of officials, and someone is from your area or community or a place where you are. They think that when I come and talk to you about my condition, you spread it outside and you will not help. But the thing is, we don't talk about the issues of the people. We only help where God gives us strength to do so. If we cannot be able, we also look for a way to talk to the bigger church or congregation, and they can help where we are not able.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Margaret, did you want to add?
Yeah, women like uplifting each other. And as women, when we hold our social days, we learn skills. With the women, you come and learn skills so that you can create something from those skills. We hold gatherings where we teach each other skills. You can be taught how to cook, taught how to make some liquid soap, and many skills. And with that, at least you can get some income and sustain your family.
Okay.
I can also add on the same. When I joined Women's Guild, there is no place I have ever gone to do an hospitality thing. But when I joined them, I was taught how to cook various foods. I was taught on how to make soaps. I was taught on how to do a business and make an income. So when you join these women, you may learn more than you think you can learn when you are alone. Thank you.
All right.
Me too, I would like to add what they have said. As we all know that this Women's Guild here is a vessel of Christ. And as Jesus was doing, he was looking for those people who are less fortunate. He was even looking for those people people or the one person who was missing in his gathering, and God to look for him for the sake of his kingdom. So as Women's Guild, what we are doing is that we are looking in our society. Let me tell you that in us here, women, we have a very great role in the society. One, we are the providers in our society. So we are looking for those people who are jobless. We look for job for them. For example, maybe you feel there is a business somewhere, or as she has said, we look for those people who feel that they don't have hope for future. We give them hope so that at least we be one sister's keeper. Yes.
All right. You know, we are also living at a time when women are very empowered. The guild began at a time when women were very suppressed. But now women are very empowered today. Even the level of women who are leaders in the society are more, and they are increasing more and more. And I want you to just, you can comment about this, Margaret, about how the guild, is supporting the women, in its membership, and also the women in society to take up, this opportunity and take up responsibilities in the society, just to utilize it as a moment of empowerment, right? In terms of taking it as an opportunity also for service at different levels in society.
Times are gone when women belonged to the kitchen. At the moment, women are more empowered, but when you come to, we encourage women as much as we learn. Women are signboards. Women give directions. Women are so empowered, but we encourage women to take up responsibilities in the church, to take up responsibilities in the society. And as much as we are empowered, we are taught that women are the pillars. We are the pillars of the church, pillars of our homes, pillars. And without women, I think the society would be a shaky place to be in.
All right. Purity, I now have to ask for a question on behalf of men, because I have to. You've talked about women a lot, but because I'm the man doing this conversation, let me ask something about the man. What's the role of men in the Women's Guild?
Thank you. A man in Women's Guild, let's say, to me, let me be personal. The time I joined Women's Guild, he is the one who stood behind me. And when the commissioning ended, he told me, now I have another work to do. Because as you serve God, I can see there is a difference when you're in service rather than when you are out of service. Because I have seen a family stand when a woman and a man are together in the service. But to me, to him, he was not in service. That time, he was not born again anyway, that time. But as days gone, he came to tell me one day that I feel I need to give my life to Christ because you've been an example to my life. And I need to know Christ. If you can stand as young as you are, I think I need Christ in my life. And he gave his life to Christ. And to that time, up to date, he has been a pillar. Because sometimes he calls us and reminds us that as a man, I have to remind you people, in this house, we have not learned the word of God. we have not prayed. So we need to pray. And it takes time to pray for us so that the family can be more united. A man, I would say, in Women's Guild is also a pillar who holds. Because when you are shaking and going down, sometimes you are shaking, you are going down, he holds you and brings you back to stand.
Okay.
A man can be a pillar to you and also a shoulder to lean on.
I like that,
Yes.
pillar and a shoulder
To lean on.
So when we see the strong women, we know that men are doing a great work to
Yes.
support. And I think that's a big message also to the men whose women are in the guild, that we also play a supportive role in this mission. We're coming close to our conversation and are close to the end of our conversation, but just two more things. Still in the line of men, Joyce, the boy child. What's the guild doing about the boy child?
Okay, thank you very much. As we said, a woman guild is a mother. So the work of a mother is to nurture that boy child to grow in a spiritual way. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're, instilling spirituality
Yes.
in the boy, because spirituality will make a good man, a man who fears God.
Yes.
Even from a tender age, becomes a man who is promising in the society.
Very true.
Great. And finally, it's amazing how quickly this hour has gone, Margaret. Tell us a little bit about the theme for this year, for the Women's Guild, and why you feel it's an important theme for the church, for the community to have at this particular time.
Okay, our theme is this year is from the book of Philippians 3:14. Mainly the theme is pressing forward towards the mark. I think it is the most powerful theme I've had for the guild, pressing forward. Even at these times when we think everything is crumbling down, the women guilds are reminding us that we should press on towards your mark. It is so powerful.
Great. Thank you very much, Margaret, and thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Purity. A great conversation, great insights, and I'm sure that those people who listen to this also come off better. And who knows? Some people knock on your doors now saying, I want to be a member of the guild, because we can tell the service and the embrace that there is in the Women's Guild. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. This has been then and now, and the Women's Guild was 100 years ago, still is going strong now. This has been then and now, bridging generations. God bless you.